Hey, 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 beautiful souls. Welcome to FriYAY. This is the day of the week where we come live. And for all of you who are subscribed to this channel, I'm here for you tonight. I pull cards for those of you who are here. So if you are subscribed and you'd like me to pull some cards and bring some messages through for you, please do comment in the live stream chat. I'm going to get some Palo Santo going, and then we're going to do a bit of an energy check-in. It is Friday, February the 20th, day 51 of this new Gregorian year. Where is the year going? It's flying by. So how are we all doing? For those who don't know, my name is lisalyle, and this is my Heart's Offering here on YouTube. So a very warm welcome to all of you who may be new and landing here for the very first time. And of course, a very warm welcome back to all of you who continue to show up and of course, do the inner work. I'm so grateful for your presence here. And at this time, I'd like to ask that I am a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving and kind, with the intention of supporting the manifestation of our greatest and highest good at this time, in this lifetime. You think you can do it? I believe you can. So, hot already. Oh, an extra strap today. I decided to get decent. So how are you all doing? It has been quite a week. A week ago, we had Friday the 13th, and then we had the Day of Love, and then we had the Lunar New Year, and then now we are in Lent and Ramadan, and the sun has moved into the sign of Pisces, and Neptune and Saturn, am I right? Yeah, Neptune and Saturn have just, hey, welcome, Milos. Neptune and Saturn have just moved across the 0 degree of Aries, the first degree of the zodiacal wheel. So how are we all feeling? Let's be honest. It's been an intense week. It's been a very intense week. And so similar to me, many of you may be feeling just out of sorts, and for no particular reason. You just put your chopstick on. Oh, your chapstick. I get it. I love this stuff. And then I was reading something either yesterday or today that said dry lips can signify dehydration and a need for water. And so we all may be feeling quite thirsty these days. What are we thirsty for? Soul satisfaction is what I'm thirsty for. How about you? And so the question is, for all of us, how do we show up for ourselves? Yeah, same. And I just went to pour a drink in my clear glass mug, and the drink started pouring out of the bottom. I just drank through it less than an hour ago. So I'm not sure what happened, if a knife popped through it or what, but now there's a hole. So that's gone. So back to the mason jars. So during this time that we're in, we may be feeling slightly out of sorts with no rhyme or reason, not knowing why. I've been off. I go back to work on Sunday, and it's going to be work to go back to work. And so I've been home this week, and, I have found that my energy has been quite low, and that my energy has really been all over the map. And so you may be feeling this way as well. And so how do we support ourselves when we're feeling like that? Keep drinking water, keep getting more rest, because this is our shifting into true, authentic, and it was just 444 there on the clock. True, authentic, spiritual powder. Don't do that stuff. And stay away from the baby powder. It's toxic. um, we this what's happening right now is we're in this transition. We, and we may be feeling this as we move throughout the remainder of February and even into March. And don't forget, we're in eclipse season as well with our full moon, total lunar eclipse, blood moon in the sign of Virgo on March the 3rd. Many of you have been with me for at least a year, and you'll remember last year with the Virgo lunar eclipse, we received the message, and that last year, I think it was March 13th, we received the message, the one that I had to get up out of bed and write down because they were insistent that I not forget it. We are the modern day mystics bringing to light once again ancient wisdom, and it's simply spiritual. So, as we transition into our true authentic power, there may be a need for us to relax more. There may be a need for us to get out more and connect with friends. I had a beautiful lunch today with the oldest, she's not that old, but the longest friend that I've had. We've been friends for 43 years or something now, 43, 44 years. And we just had a nice leisurely lunch. We actually sat there a couple hours after we finished eating, and we're like, we better go before they kick us out or charge us for loitering. And so we may feel the need to reconnect with loved ones, with friends, with family, perhaps establish some new connections that are going to be supportive of us as we move into this next phase. And this next phase is really about bringing that ancient wisdom online, as well as the wisdom from the stars, the wisdom from the heavens, as we co create and manifest our experience of heaven here on earth as the sovereign child of light, eternally connected to source. So many of you here may identify as star seeds. I feel like many of us are. And, as one who may have identified as a star seed, there may be this longing for a place, not of this world where we feel like it's home when we look up at the night sky. And what is most important for us, if we feel that way, is to remember that we are earthlings. We came here to have an experience as an earthling and to ground and anchor in this high vibration that is going to support the children on this planetary realm, the children of God, Creator, Source, to really go forward and live the life of their dreams. We here, those of us here now, and I mean, I'm in my mid 50s, we've been through a lot, and we've been through a lot that was the end of a very dark cycle, an over 2,000 year cycle, and we're moving into this new 2,160 year cycle. This is just the beginning. And so it may feel like, I just heard, is love winning? Yes. Is love winning in your experience? Because if we look too far outside of ourselves, it may not feel like love is winning. It may feel like we're continuing to spiral or slide down a very slippery slope. And, truly, our lives are not a joke. We're meant to have more fun. We're meant to laugh more. We're meant to, tickle our funny bones once in a while. And yet, we are here for important work. I say that all the time. And it's really true. And then, I've had people say, well, what are you doing? Well, I go live on YouTube every day and I share authentically my heart, my soul, my story, my love, good, bad, or otherwise. I come here and authentically share. And so at this point in time, that's what I'm doing. And I continue to dive deeper into the experience to gain greater awareness and insight to Lisa, the human, the earthling. Yeah, I adore Mother Earth too. And, this is a part of Our power is to really reestablish our high vibe and stay connected to the earth, because this is how we're going to be able to navigate these tumultuous times. Simplicity. Simplicity is key. We can feel sometimes like I had this week off, and big plans. I was going to do like a spring cleaning. I was going to do this. I was going to do that, and I didn't really do any of it. I didn't do any of it. I reconnected. I connected with some people that are dear to me, and made time and shared time and space with them, and that was lovely. And here on what is normally my Saturday night, I'm like, man, I got to go do some laundry. So after this live, I'm going to take the dog for a couple hour walk, or as long as he wants to guide me around town, and then I'm going to come back and do some laundry, and then just chillax tomorrow, 11:11 there. So can we, yeah, that's what I did this week too. And I went through a lot of, there was a lot of emotional ups and downs this week. And initially I was trying to identify where the ups and downs were coming from and why I was feeling this way. And at the end of the day, it's like we don't have to know. We just have to honor ourselves and support ourselves to maintain that even keel. And it's funny. The other day I was walking down in the I don't even know what to call it. It's a walking path down by the creek in the where do I live, in a city or a town? City, I think. Um, yeah, I was so off. I felt more weepy than anything. I felt this grief coming up, and I don't know what it was from. But on one of these walks, we were down in the trail, and there was these two gentlemen. I'm pretty sure they were homeless or political. I say throw political correctness out the window, because now they're calling them unhoused or unhomed. It's homeless. Let's just call it what it is. It's homeless. So, anyways, I saw these two gentlemen, and when I got close to them, the one young man, and he was probably in his, I don't know for sure, maybe late 20s, early 30s. This young man had tattooed his face up. And he had these lines tattooed here, and then like cross marks. He looked like a mask. And then he had two upside down crosses under his eyes and a bunch of other stuff. And I really wanted to stop and speak to them. And yet I felt their energy. I just got chills through my whole body. That's weird. I wanted to speak to them, but I felt their energy very close. So I just, nodded and said hi and kept walking. And as I got past them, I felt such a wave of sadness come over me. And I had to remind myself that it wasn't me necessarily. I was feeling their energy. And so sometimes I think we forget, those of us who are highly spiritually attuned, we may call ourselves empaths or just highly sensitive people. Sometimes, we do take on energetics of others. And if we, again, this world has gone like, um, well, I don't think it's just gone this way, but like there's been so much put into the collective in recent days and weeks, and nothing good, nothing good. And so, even as a sensitive, as an empath, one who doesn't watch TV or news and this kind of stuff, it's really important for us to remember, like, we feel it. And those of you here are probably similar to me. I often feel energy shifts ahead of the curve, if you will, whether it's a week or a couple of weeks ahead of time. I feel the movements coming, and it can be rather overwhelming. And especially if we're very much a solitary traveler. And I will say that's the one thing I miss about having, even the friends I connected with this week. We don't really sit and speak spiritual stuff because they're not into that. They love me and respect me and honor me as I am. I'm not going to sit and have conversations with them like I would with all of you here because they really don't want to hear it for the most part. And that's okay. That's okay. I really miss, um, you know, creating communities and spaces in the tangible world where we can touch and feel each other. Not that we go around touching and feeling each other, but you know what I mean, hugging each other and this kind of stuff, where we can have these deeper conversations. That's one thing that I feel is missing in my day to day experience is someone I can have these conversations with. And it's funny. So I picked up the phone this morning and called a gentleman I used to work with. Oh, aren't you lucky, Milos? Milos says all of his are mystics and healers, astrologers, philosophers, and witches. Um, yeah, not for me. Not for me, honestly. Although, I do crave that in my life. And, that's what I miss about Frank's daily presence in my life is he was a great sounding board. And he used to say, "Oh, woman, you sound batshit wacky." And I'm like, "I know." And I said, "It's a part of the appeal." And he agreed. Yes, it was. It was a part of the appeal. Um, but it's just nice to have these people that we can bounce these things off of. It's nice to have people in our life that notice that, we're feeling off and perhaps offer us a hug or something like that. And, so hopefully all of you have those spaces and people in your life. And for now, I just hug myself. And when I go to bed, I hug a pillow and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's been a very, very interesting time, and I would just encourage you that whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming up. Milos was saying he was feeling such rage and anger that he freaked out, and I would venture to say, Milos, that may be because of the ceremony that you did last week, because things are coming up, and like I said, for the last few days, probably since about Tuesday evening, I felt like these waves of grief moving through and feeling very tender and again, I can't identify it. I can't put my finger on what it is in particular. And so I just chalk it up to what's going on out there in the mad, mad world. And then focus on being the even keel. Sorry, I'm pulling my pant legs up. I'm sweating a little bit here, as you can tell. I'm heating up. Um, so yeah, I don't see the energy calming down anytime soon for all of us. And in fact, it may pick up a little bit around the time of the new moon, and this one is called a blood moon. I love the blood moons, honestly, because I always feel like the healing that they offer, as well as the gifts, like the wisdom that comes up from them on the other side of it, is ancestral. And us here, we're the ones here breaking ancestral curses. We're clearing, um, the karma through the ancestral bloodline. And so that's what I always feel with the blood moon. It's like we may feel things that come up from not just the collective, but from our own ancestral bloodline. And if anything comes up for us, it's coming up to be cleared and healed. And for most of us here, I feel like we've done, if not completed it, we've cleared a lot of the karma. So what I'm feeling with this Virgo um, total lunar eclipse on the 3rd of March is that this was where may begin to see more and more gifts. And as I've shared here in recent weeks, my dream time has become very active. And some of it is almost prophetic. I hope it's not, in some of the things I've seen in the last couple of weeks. Time will tell. Yeah, the full moon after that would be the full moon in Libra, and that will be, early April at the time of the true new year. I was having a friend, I called a gentleman who I had the opportunity to work with briefly at this place where I'm working now. And he retired last year, and his wife has passed away. And he was always a really good friend to me there. He was, and someone I could speak to about the spiritual side of things. I guess he's awake like us. Maybe one day he'll make it to one of these lives. But we spent about an hour on the phone speaking this morning, and checking in to see how he's doing and how his daughters are doing and everything. And he said to me, I don't. He said to me that, Lisa, he goes in that place, and I work in a distribution center, and again, 95% men. And he said, you were a bright light in that place. And then he mentioned another gentleman who I've never really spoken to, because I don't really often work in his area, but he's like, you should talk to him. He's a very intelligent man. And, he's got a lot of good stuff. And so we did have one brief conversation a couple weeks ago, because I've been moved into the area where he predominantly works. And so I introduced myself, and, I knew who he was. I'm sure he knew who I was as well, but we'd never spoke before. So I put my hand out and introduced myself, and we had a little chit chat, and that was it. But, it's nice to stick close to people who see us, who really see us, and who we can have the heart to heart conversations with. And we can say things that may seem outrageous to some. And I mean, let's face it, you can show the world a lot of outrageous stuff, and they're just like, yeah, apparently it doesn't bother them. So if you'd like me to pull some cards for you, you're not late. You're right on time. Let me know if you'd like me to pull some cards, everyone who's here. I'm kind of I'm going to try to limit this until the next 45 minutes, because my son would like to go online, and I've asked him to stay off of line until I'm done this, so it doesn't affect the live. So we have 45 minutes. You've got me here for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to go trek around. What did I say? I lived in a town or a city? I live in a city, I think. Whatever. We're going to go walk around the streets. We're going to roam the streets for a while. This is key. And so if you've been feeling anything like I have in recent days, please do be compassionate with yourself. Please be gentle with yourself. That song just came in. Rock me gently, rock me slowly, take it easy. Don't you know that I have never been loved like this before? Baby, baby. And so can we just treat ourselves as if we were a delicate flower and be gentle with ourselves, regardless of what we're going through? Because as we're compassionate with ourselves, compassion leads to our soul fire, our passionate heart's desire. And it's so important at this time that we remain focused on our vision. No one else holds the vision that I hold for myself and my life. You have your own sacred vision. I have my own sacred vision. What are you, Datura? Milos, he says, I treat myself like I am a poisonous, delicate flower. Oh, Milos, you kill me. Let me get my leg up here. So let us be passionate with ourselves as we navigate these new energies. And, if you're a sensitive one like me, you would be wise to not engage in watching the news and, even the predictive programming that they do on the shows on TV and stuff like that. Oh, Scorpio moon and Virgo sun and ascendant. Yeah. My Cancer ascendant is, hey, Miss Wing 222. Yeah, we all need breaks from a lot of things, don't we? And sometimes we just need a break from I would say life, but we don't want to like shut ourselves off from life. But sometimes we just need to, go into like the hermit's cage. Remember, though, we don't want to get stuck there because this is about movement. Passion is movement. The heart, soul's fire is movement, right? Fire is movement, fanning the flames of our heart's desire. So let us take the time we need. Let us take the rest we need so that we can come back to experiencing the joy that is meant for you and for me, for all of us. Yes, please. So let's just read what this says here, and then I'll get to pulling cards. So Milos wants a card. Angela would like some cards. Miss Wing 222, if you'd like some cards, let us know or let me know. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of the core, where we can let its long lasting wisdom fill us up. Yeah. Colleen. I'm like, Miss Wing 222, how are you doing, sis? We have missed you. I'm glad you took a break. You deserve a break. You've been through a lot in the last year, last 13, 14. Let's just say in a lifetime. We've been through a lot in this lifetime. So, Milos, we're going to start with you, and I'm going to put these cards back in. I'm going to pull a return to spirit card, as well as what are these called? The sacred geometry activations. Did you get that? The sacred geometry activations. And, I've slept so much this week and I'm still so tired. My right ear is ringing like crazy. And now I'm feeling a little bit of pressure on the right here through my head, a little intensity. And what I'm feeling is there's almost this tendency from external, and we may be falling into this energy like we're meant to be guided intuitively, right brain, feminine energy, receptive energy. And there may be a little bit of resistance to that. And the external certainly doesn't want us to be free thinking, intuitive thinking in our power. And yet, Source, divine, loving, and kind wants us all in our power this very hour. There's a lot of spiritual energy around. I'm not tired. I say I'm tired, but like I'm yawning, I'm feeling warm. So, Milos, you're up. Look what came back out for you, Milos. What I'm feeling, and just based on what you've said here, the rage and the anger that's been coming up and that's freaked you out, it's feeling almost as if, because we know, those of you who resonate know that you're here on a planetary mission. And we don't need permission to be who we are, weird and wonderful, bright, shining stars. That gentleman that I was speaking to today, he's like, the light really does shine through your eyes, Lisa. You're bright, you high vibe, and you're consistently able to hold that. And you talk of God, even though he goes, you're not religious. And I'm like, I know. Thank you for seeing me. And so, Milos, what I'm feeling here with you is that too. It's like, it's almost like the spiritual realms are really encouraging you to see yourself as you. And this, I'm feeling like, what just came in? The Great Gazoo. Have you ever watched the Flintstones and the Great Gazoo? And so I feel like you have this whole, crew of light, Milos, that really is like supporting you to make these breakthroughs. And it's been an ongoing thing. And I just feel like this is saying, like, the you're really growing, and your knowledge, you see the big, I see this as a head, I see it like an alien, but I'm feeling the great gazoo, and it's like there's so much wisdom within you, and it's like finding the avenues to share, because what you have to share, especially your love of source, your love of Yeshua, your connection to all of it, in light of your experience in this life as an earthling, it feels like, keep doing you, and continue to focus on the grounding, focus on connecting with beautiful Mother Earth. And what I'm hearing is you'll know, just a sec, you'll know when it's time for you. It's almost like reveal, because yes, you're in this period of integration. As we empty out the vessel, it creates more space. And this is why rest is required, water is required. Oh, sheesh. Good food is required. You got a lot of spiritual energy around you, Milos. And this may too, what they're saying, as the bridge to heaven on earth, there's a lot of it. Some days it feels like hard work to maintain an even keel, to maintain stability and stay grounded. So I think that's the Sri Yantra on the integration card, and it's the energy of the Empress. Whether we're male or female, we all embody this energy, and it's like the emotional balance, the emotional wisdom, direct connection to source, slow and steady on the earth plane, and going for the soul's desire, the heart's fire, trusting where you're being led. Well, there you go. Confirmation. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. And so, what I feel like this is saying is really taking your time, lots of rest, not pushing yourself. And when the time is right for movement again, you'll know by how you're feeling inside. I would encourage you to continue to talk to your team of light, because, man, you got some wise guides. And like I said, I just keep seeing the Great Gazoo. Does anybody know who the Great Gazoo is from the Flintstones? That's what I'm seeing. So, Milos, I hope something in this has made sense for you this evening. Thank you so much for being here, brother. I love when you show up, and I'm sending you waves of love over there to Serbia. Yeah. Yeah. I was saying to my girlfriend today, because I've been klutzy my whole life. What have I been called? The leaping gazelle. I was always falling or tripping, and I wasn't always drunk. But, even now, as at my tender age, I'm very cautious when I'm out walking. I don't want to fall. I'm not a very big woman. I'd like to think I'm bigger than I am. I'm not. And I don't want to fall. I don't want to, like, my hip. I don't want to be like an old horse with a bad hip, and then they're going to have to put me down or something, or my shoulders. I don't want to hurt myself. I'm so afraid of, I'm not afraid of, um, I'm afraid of physical pain. I'm afraid of physical pain. Milos, I'm glad it resonated, brother. Thank you so much. Angela, you're up next. Knowledge. Do you trust what you know on the inside? Do you trust what you feel, Angela? I feel that this is asking you to trust yourself more. Within you is a great wellspring of wisdom, and it's often we need to get out of our own way. We need to get out of our head and into our heart so that we can, I heard the word disseminate. Okay, so what I'm feeling here, let me grab another sip of water. What I'm feeling is this is about a journey of self love, Angela, and trusting yourself. And, we're all guilty of it. We've all done it at some point in time where we look outside of ourselves for answers. I mean, I know I've done it plenty of times. And then people, most people, loving and kind, would like to help us and they would like to offer us suggestions. I saw something the other day and I was reminded of it again and had a good chuckle of it over it with a friend of mine. Is one who tries to help the caterpillar out of the cocoon kills the butterfly. Oh, that's harsh, isn't it? That's harsh. And when I remember when I came across that, it was like, wow, it is harsh. Everybody in their own time. And so this is about you coming into your own from the inside and trusting the feelings that are coming up in you, trusting that you know what is right and true for you. And most of all, Angela, trusting that you have a loving team of light that guides you. When we're in our mind, we often feel very much alone. And I mean, I've been very much alone for most of my adult life, and yet I'm never alone. I've got a whole team, I've got a whole schoolyard of playmates that are always encouraging me to keep going. And the message is here for all of us at this time, yourself included, Angela, is not to give up on yourself, not to give up on yourself, not to diminish your worth and like even coming here, don't don't think I know better than you what's right and true for you, because I don't. I know what's right and true for me, and I know best what's right and true for me at this age. I know what's best for me. I'm feeling so warm. You do have a lot of spiritual support around you. Disseminate. I don't know the exact meaning, but I feel like it's like almost like dissecting, taking it apart. And sometimes we get up in our heads and we can like I don't know, Angela, if you're anything like me, but man, I can, rehash something. I can go over it a million ways, a look, a word, a thought, and I can be up in my head for days. Well, not anymore. I used to be up in my head for days about certain things. And I feel like with this coming out first, the message is trust yourself. Trust your heart above anything else. Well, emotional healing. The sacral chakra is the home of our emotions. It's also the sexual energy center. It's a highly creative center. And at this point in time on the planet, unfortunately, there's so much sexual distortion. It's like what feels good now. We've got a lot, it's, we have to, what I'm feeling here, it's like healing this area. And this is an area of big healing. And I do feel that there's a deep, deep emotional waters, which may be not having you trust yourself because it feels like there are still wounds that you hold near and dear within you that need to be processed. In order to heal, we need to see, we need to feel, release, and then we heal. We can't just go, yeah, that happened, and move on. Like if it was so easy, man, we could flip this script on this planet overnight. It's not that easy though. It takes time and it takes dedication of the self, the individual, walking with your, imagine you're walking through life in the hands of God who loves and adores you and wants that child within you to come out. You were feeling pressure on your head, Angela? Again, we can get, as we ascend, as we release the density of the experience, there's a lot that goes on in our body, right? The body is a carbon. And they talk about all this carbon emissions. They want to release that. We're carbon based individuals. Oh. And, I feel like the message is, Angela, get out of your head and into your heart. And this is going to take practice. It's going to take dedication on your part. It's no point to sit around and be afraid of what's happening, what's going on. If you're that afraid and you feel like there's something not good going on, go and check it out. If it's just in your thoughts, our thoughts, anxiety, depression, all these unrepressed emotions in our body can create a lot of discomfort, dis-ease in the experience. And so I've often found that as we lighten up, as we become more crystalline, as we clear out the density of the pain body, if you will, it becomes easier to breathe. It becomes easier to think. It becomes easier to co create. It becomes easier to simply move through life at ease and at peace. And so, Angela, I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling anything. I'm not a medical perfection. Just a sec. Yeah, the message I'm receiving about your head pressure is get out of your head and into your heart. I say, hey, hey, you, get into your heart. That's the place to start. And so, Angela, I'm really feeling with the knowledge card and my ears going crazy again. With the knowledge card and the sacral chakra, which we call the sacred chakra here, there's a need for healing. It's emotional healing. That's where our emotions are stored. The element within the sacral chakra is water. And so water, stagnant water, becomes stinky like a swamp. Nobody wants to go near it. And when we are in touch with we don't want to be raging seas popping off on everyone. You pissed me off. You did this, you did that. Stop, come into the experience and address what's going on. Because I have discovered over the years that anger and rage is simply unhealed pain, unhealed emotional trauma. And so I do feel that there's a need for some emotional healing, for some addressing of what's coming up for you from this watery space in your body. And as you do that, it restores, it's about us, those of us here, restoring righteousness to sacredness, to sexual connections. The sacral chakra is also the home of sensuality, how we feel as women and men, how we feel in our body, how we present ourselves in the world. Yeah. Milos has got some good suggestions here, Angela. And the pressure, again, pressure is like, it's almost like, imagine yourself as a pressure cooker. The pressure cooker that's got the little top, and all this stuff is building up inside, anxiety, fear. Oh, what's going on in my head? What's going on in my head? And then the anxiety comes and it contributes to this. And so, like Milo said, it's good to get out of our minds, like losing, sometimes always we must be lost in order to be found, to find ourselves again. And Milo says, if we look at the laws of nature, stagnant water is cleared by earth. So grounding is a good idea for you, Angela. It's a great idea for all of us. And even if I know you're not too far away, so you're in winter there too, Angela, but like getting out to nature when you can, just hugging a tree, planting your feet on the earth, and when spring comes, like really, connecting on a daily basis, because the earth we're so supported. And, my friend and I, when we were talking on the phone today, he was saying like, oh, I was saying, yeah, they've messed us up with the calendar and everything like that. And it really has. Like, our rhythms have been disrupted by the man-made things that they've injected into our timelines, the 12-month calendar, when it's really truly 28 days, 13 months. This is a true year. So if we went through that, like, we don't even know what year we're in, right? Since the birth of the Gregorian calendar. And that's why some months have 31 days, some have 30, sometimes 29. February sometimes has 28, because they're playing with us. So this is how we're being called to get back into our natural rhythms and cycles. And nature is a great support for that. And this is about standing on your own 2 feet. It's a number 2, which is the high priestess energy. So trusting your intuition above all else. You're here and you're on a sacred mission. And it's like, can you see the vision? Can you see it? What is your vision for yourself, your life? And everything begins on the inside. And so the message here is the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. And that's what you're here for, Angela. Abundance, success, highly creative. I would venture to say you're highly creative, and that there is a wellspring of wisdom within you. And wisdom, in my experience, is nothing more than pain healed, because the pain blocks, hides, comes over all of the stuff, all the innate wisdom of the child, the emotional pain, the trauma, all of it blocks it. And so as we clear it, we begin to come back online authentically as the child of light divine. So, Angela, I hope those messages resonated with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect. And Colleen, did you want any? Colleen, did you want a card? Oh, we had this the other day. This is for all of us. Up, 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 can only go up from here. We're birthing the new earth through our hearts, one heartbeat at a time. Awesome. One heartbeat at a time. Beyond the mind, the sacred heart beats. And to be in labor, to give birth, is not easy. It's not easy. And yet we can create more ease in the experience by supporting ourselves, by breathing, listening to frequencies, high frequencies that support us. Again, getting to nature. How can we support ourselves to give birth to the life of our dreams, so that we may take flight as the cosmic butterfly who's living their dreams? We can do it. Yeah, screaming our lungs out helps. I haven't had a good scream in a while. I haven't had to scream in a while. I sing, though. I keep my throat chakra pretty clear with my singing and my talking, and the odd F bomb that I drop. There's no problems with my throat chakra these days. Okay, Colleen, you're up. Colleen, it is so nice to have you here with us again on a Friday night. It's been a while. And you haven't been here because you've been shifting. You've been shifting. And you've been taking care of yourself. And I'm hearing you're being celebrated for taking a break from all of it. From all of it. I hope you're settling into your new space and all of that. You're beginning to really get comfy there and loving it. Yeah, you're shifting. And what I feel like you've been doing since we've last connected here, Colleen, is you're committed to the shift. You're committed to yourself. You're committed to creating the stability in your life that you crave, that you desire. And not only that, you deserve after the storms that you have lived through and moved through. This is like, I'm hearing just desserts. And so stay committed to the path that your heart has chosen. Stay committed to trusting and following the intuitive nudges, the guidance, and trust that you are being guided in the direction of more love. That's what I just heard. of more love. And your commitment and dedication to yourself is going to pay great dividends. So keep going. Continue to trust the inner intuitive knowing. I'm feeling like a lot of healing has taken place since we've last connected, Colleen. And I would like to say, well done. Congratulations. It looks good. It feels good as well. And it's like you're here in service to the eternal essence of love that now lives and breathes as you. I just feel like celebrating. Like I just want to reach out and give you a high five. Let's high five. Come on. High 10. Yay, you did it, Colleen. This is so exciting. And keep trusting your intuition, because I do feel like there's your intuition is guiding you to deeper depths. But you know what, Colleen? As you go to the deeper depths, it's almost as if you are more grounded as you go. What a gift. That's really what I'm feeling here. The more you go, the more grounded you become. And it's like this um I'm hearing blossoming, but I also heard overflowing cup of love. Well done. They keep saying well done. Something about spring. Let's see if it comes. No, I feel like there's what they're saying is like come spring, it's like you're hardly going to recognize yourself or your life because so much has changed. Like so much has changed in a year, right? So much has changed in a handful of months. You have a tree. Yay! Yay! Hug it for me. Say, Lisa says hi. Oh, I was thinking about my healing tree today. A picture came up of, and I had captioned it, "A girl in her healing tree." I haven't been down to visit my healing tree in quite some time. I hope they haven't cut it down. I should make a visit in the next week or two to go and see it. Go hang with it. um, yeah. Okay. So allowance. You know what? What the biggest I'm hearing the biggest impact and the biggest positive change you have made, Colleen, is to allow. And even when you were going through all you were going through last year and sharing with us here, you were really open to the gifts of spirit. You were really open to being divinely led to a home where you could rest your head and feel safe and feel secure. And it's all because you allowed, and it's like you allowed cycles to end. 9 is wrapping it up, and um we're moving to, the true new beginning, the new life. And as much as the external world wants to show us like the world's gone to shit, hell in a handbasket, as they say, it really hasn't, because there's so many people like you and I who are reclaiming their sovereignty, who are claiming or healing the heart of the child that lives inside. And we are, in our own unique way, giving birth to the experience of heaven on earth as it looks for us. And I mean, truly, heaven on earth, I don't claim to know what, God wants for all of us. What I will faithfully stand by is that God wants us all happy. God wants us to experience joy. God wants us to be eating good food, breaking bread with one another, doing the do-si-do. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-la. He wants us singing, dancing, playing, co-creating, making art, being the living art. The best compliment I could have ever got from anyone I received today. When that man told me, the light of God shines through your eyes. I'm like, oh, thank you for saying that. I was really touched. I was really, really touched by that. And I really respect this man. And so I, I'm grateful for the people in life that see me as I am. That doesn't mean all the people that see me as I am are going to agree with me. They may not even like me. That's okay. That's okay. So, allowance, Colleen, keep doing what you're doing, sis. You're doing great. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion. I haven't mastered the without opinion yet, without fear and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expression. And, I say like without opinion. I mean, I don't share my opinions all the time anymore. I used to share my opinions all the time. And now I've grown up so that I don't have to share my opinion. It doesn't mean I don't have one because I usually do. Um, yeah, Milos, but you know what? It's right on the lakefront. Milo says to make a fake grave by my tree. It's right by the lakefront, and the city that I used to live in, which is like just down the street, they have done a lot of clear cutting along the shoreline because they it was never cared for properly. So a lot of the trees, especially on the shoreline, and mine was right on the shoreline, there's been so much erosion over the years that they become safety hazard. So the last time I was down there, or last year, they had cut down a number of trees. I did a post on it with because my heart was aching when I went down. Mine was still standing there. I've birthed all of my hand drums there under that tree. Lots of ceremony under that tree. Lots of healing tears under that tree. Yeah, I love that tree so much. I sing all the time. I'm always singing to the trees. Even sometimes when I'm out there singing, I think like the birds are watching me. What kind of a bird is that? So, Colleen, I hope that those messages resonate. What a delight to deliver those to you tonight, and what a delight to have you back here on the lives. I love you, sis. I've missed you, and I'm so glad that you're doing well. Honestly, um, so thank you. Is there anyone else here that would like a card? Milos, don't get arrested up there in the mountains screaming, brother. I think I screamed one night in my car on the way home from work. I was so ticked off. The place, I was so ticked off that I got in the car and I'm like, I haven't screamed in a while. Let me scream. And I'm like, ah! But then I had a sore throat the next day. So, I try not to scream so much. I don't really scream. And even, my son's leaving to go back. I think that's a part of it as well. My son's leaving to go back to work in the next province tomorrow. Hey, Jen, welcome. I'll pull you some cards. Um, Angela, let's talk about it. Just send me a message. We can talk about it, sis. Um, yeah, talk about it. I'm not here to price anyone out of support or anything. So, yeah, let's talk. Yeah, my son's leaving home again tomorrow for he won't be gone long this time, but he'll be gone for at least a week. So yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of, anxiousness around that, especially since Rex will be home. Look at this beautiful gift I received this week. For those who don't know, we had to put our little dog down in January, Luna, and my beautiful sister of the heart had this made for me. She got my absolute favorite picture of the little dog and then her name here. It's so gorgeous. I just love it. It's a special gift. So I'm anxious and worried about Rex a little bit because he's got to be home for 9 hours a day. Anyone local, you want to come and walk my dog, our dog, we'd be happy. He would be too. So free, of course, I can bake for you. I can give you some treats, but your gift would be the presence, the company of Rex. He's the best dog ever. And this dog, we go on walks, people love him. Everybody loves him. He's super cute. He's looking at me now. Yes, everybody loves you, Rex. Everybody loves him, and he's got people that They're like, is that Rex? I'm like, yeah, because sometimes my son's walking him, and same with my when my son's out, the people will be like, is that Rex? And then the one woman's like, yeah, I wanted my children to meet him. So he just loves people, and he doesn't ever forget where people acknowledged him and stuff. Because last night we were almost home, like after walking 2 hours, we were like 10 minutes from home, and he tried to pull me down the street where the women got out of their car the night before just to hang out with him and pet him. And oh my God, he's so cute. He tried to get in the car with them. And then he wanted to go back there. And I'm like, no, no, no. We've been walking 2 hours, bud. We're going home. So he's like, big sigh now, like, oh no. Um, Fog off. It's been very foggy around here lately. I like that. I like saying the, you know, duck off, like, but with the F. I like saying that once in a while. I said it here a couple times this week, I think. Because some of it's so some lunacy going on, and sometimes you just need to say it. But yeah, I like fog off. Maybe I could try that too. Colleen, you're sweet. And Jen, you are up. Here we go. Here we go. You're very welcome, Colleen. Vibrational. It's a vibe thing. And so what I'm feeling here, Jen, is like, what I'm feeling is your vibration has elevated, and it feels like as you rise up, rise up, as you rise up and come more stable in your power, you will be. It's almost like I don't know if you're hearing sound, like ringing in the ears and stuff like this. I'm really being guided to encourage you as you feel your vibe lifting to make sure that you're countering it. You're countering it and grounding down. Oh, you do? Rise up, rise up, rise and show your power. I did that, folks, because Jen said she likes my singing. So, and okay, the ears ringing. So pay attention and just acknowledge it, and perhaps do what you can to like ground your energy down, just so you can integrate, because we're in this huge space of integration right now. And I also feel like listening to Solfeggio frequencies, high vibe frequencies, is going to be supportive to you as well with the transition. And with the ears ringing, I always say, oh, incoming. And people are like, well, what does it mean? We don't have to know. When we need to know, we'll know. All we're meant to do is bring that frequency down into our experience and keep maintaining the stable ground on the earth. And so be compassionate with yourself as you are leveling up. We're all leveling up at this time. And as high as we vibe, we also go as deep. So it's really important to ground through the soles of your feet. And making choices that are right and true for you, Jen. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of you, what anyone else feels like you should do. What are you feeling? Trust your inner knowing, and trust the team that guides and supports you. I've been saying here for a couple of weeks, compassion leads to our passion. Compassion leads to soul satisfaction. So be gentle with yourself as you are transitioning and as you make choices and decisions that align with your highest, they just said your highest sight for your life. So perhaps a part of this message is set your sights higher. Oh, what was I singing the other day? I fell into the burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. The flames of our soul lift us up. They burn away everything that's not meant for us so that we can rise again like the beautiful phoenix. The message here is the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and to be the divine mediator between heaven and earth. Spirit and matter, up to so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Yeah, that's what we're here for. That's what I said to my friend on the phone today. I said, um, I was going to say his name. I guess I could say his name. Colin, um, that's what I'm here for. I'm here in service to a higher love. I'm here to share. And, our stories are healing. Our ability to hold a high frequency is healing. And it has a tremendous impact, not just a 6-foot radius, although that's the bare minimum of the heart's magnetic field. We radiate out further and further. And the higher we can hold our vibe, the more that we can radiate out and perhaps penetrate or permeate into the heart energetic or the auric fields of others as well. So, Jen, I would say you're doing fantastic. And heaven on earth, we're in the season. We're in Pisces season now. We're here to we're here to spiritualize matter, to bring spirit into matter. I'm here for an experience of heaven on earth. How about you? And we can do it. And wishes and dreams come true. Keep the faith, as Bon Jovi sang. I won't sing it. I won't sing it. So, Jen, I hope that resonates with you. Is there anyone else here that would like a message? I'm getting close to the end of my time. I told my son I would get offline at 7 so he could have his online time before hockey. You are so very welcome. I love you, and I love sharing with all of you. I really do. You guys are all like a big part of my wish and dream come true. Soul family. I just wish more of you were here to hug me. Holy moly, guacamole. How's it going? Welcome. Happy Friday to you. Would you like a card pulled for you? Yeah, my wish and dream would be to have more of you here in my general area so I could hug you and love up on you and have you love up on me as well. Who doesn't need that? Okay, holy moly. Holy moly. No, I have a sister in Alberta. I'm in Ontario. Unterrible. I'm in Ontario. I have I have my father and stepmom and my sister and niece in Alberta. My son has a friend in, oh no, that's Winnipeg? Oh yeah, that's Manitoba. Edmonton. I have family in Edmonton. And my grandmother was from Prince Albert, Alberta, a Métis community there. I'm definitely a Canuck. Sometimes I feel like a nut. I'd hit myself, but this is really heavy. My microphone's really heavy. Okay, so holy moly. Yeah, we don't have accents, do we? No way, we got quite a few Canadians here. Colleen's a Canadian as well. Yeah, so rejuvenation. So holy moly, the message is rest, renew, relax, relax. Kick your feet back, kick back, no pressure. And this is going to support healing. You're being intuitively guided. I actually feel like you've experienced a lot of healing recently, and it's coming from the seed of the conscious seed of the heart, which is unconditional love. In the beginning and in the end, there's nothing but unconditional love. In between, the children have to remember who they are. And I feel like you're being intuitively guided and that you're trusting and taking action on the intuitive guidance. I'm also feeling Archangel Michael. Don't ask me why. I'm feeling Archangel Michael very close to you. He always feels like a peacock energy to me. And those little circles there somehow, some way are having me feel peacock. And so I feel like Archangel Michael walks with you as a guide, as protection. And he's almost like he's showing me like clearing the way for you with his, what do they call those? A knife. Machete. A machete clearing the way as you continue to heal and heal and become more grounded by the day. And I'm really feeling like the message here is like you're kind of like overlooking the need for rest. And the rest is the most important part of the integration, and it's a big missing component for a lot of us throughout the healing journey, because we're like, oh yeah, I've healed and on to the next. No, we have to integrate, because as we release and heal, we create space. And so there's more to be poured into us. And Archangel Michael is, sometimes he's my tough love guide. Sometimes I see him as a guy in like work boots and he gives me a boot to the ass. Other times I've seen him kind of like a Tarzan energy, like, oh, and other times, most of the time, he's just loving and kind. And he's the one that said to me, years and years ago, Lisa, stand up and put your arms out. I did. And he said, now turn around in a circle. And I did. And he goes, that's the space you're responsible for. So this is just about keeping your energetic space clear, and rest is going to support you to do that. And I feel like the rest is like for the remainder of the winter season. So until spring, take the time you need, because it feels like once spring comes, there's going to be a lot of movement. Go ahead, hon. I'm going to finish up with Holy Moly, and then it's all yours. Solar plexus chakra. This rest is going to support your solar plexus to come back online. And it's like falling into the ring of fire. We fall in, we clear more away that's not really meant for us, and this is where we truly come online. And I feel like by the time spring comes, you are going to be the empress sitting on her moss covered throne, or whatever yours looks like. Mine's a rock covered in moss with my bare feet on the ground and a flower tiara, maybe some crystals. So take all the time. So Holy Moly says, I took the last couple months off of my intuitive service so I could integrate. Feels good to know it's still relevant. Yes. The circle of my responsibility. Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like the time off supports your co-creative abilities. And, I know, as one who offers intuitive services and readings and this kind of stuff, sometimes, and those who have worked with me over the years know I don't connect unless I feel good. And so, like, it's really important for us to know ourselves and take responsibility for how we're feeling. It's no point for me to come here and, well, I do come here on the days even when I'm feeling off and tune into the energy and share that. But I would never pull cards for individuals if I did not feel good. I would never deliver an intuitive energy session or reading if I wasn't feeling good, because that lacks integrity. And I want what I share to be strong, to feel integral, and to be truly supportive. And so you're honoring yourself. Yes. Yes. You're so very welcome. I appreciate you being here. And so this, again, it feels like we've just had the solar eclipse, and then we'll have the lunar eclipse. And so it feels that by the time the birth of Aries season, you're going to be feeling like a whole new woman, a whole new world. And this is about the sunshine. I've got sunshine. What's that song? It's like a sultry song. Um, oh, anyways, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Yes, I guess. Sing it with me. You'd say, what can make me feel this way? I can, I can, I can. Yes, we all can. Yes, we can. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh my gosh. Thank you. I love myself too. Thank God I love myself. It took a while, but geez, it feels good to look in the mirror and like what you see. So the message here is the frequency of the solar plexus, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. And holy moly, I really feel like this is saying you've done very well. You listened when you needed time off. And if you need some more time off, take some more time off. You listened, you trusted, and you showed up for yourself. Not everyone does that. So well done. That's admirable. Like, that's inspiring. You know, it's not inspiring to see someone grind and grind and grind and grind and push and push and push. And like, no, no, where's the passion? Where's the joy? What are you grinding for and pushing for? So, holy moly, I trust that those make sense. And I thank you so much for showing up here tonight. Yeah. Yeah, let us not, what do they say? What's that thing? Hustle. Um, let us not side hustle. Everyone's got a side hustle or whatever, right? Let us just like a side vibe. Let's be the vibe. Let us be the authentic one who shows up in their solar power. And our power is really flows from our passion. What are we passionate about? I'm passionate about love. I'm passionate about healing. I'm passionate about being here on earth to create heaven. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about working a 3 to 11 job. I mean, I do it and I kill it, you know, but in passion, yeah, passion is fun. What is fun? And passion, so compassion leads us to passion, our soul's satisfaction. And in order to reestablish our connection with our soul, we got to burn away all the shit that we were told that wasn't true, even the stuff we told ourselves. And so we're doing it. You and I, those of you here, we are doing it. Oh, I bring fun. I am the fun. I am a wild party, wild, wild party. Do, 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 do. Shaking like a human being. Who knows that? Kim Mitchell. Every Canadian's got to know Kim Mitchell and Max Webster, but that was Kim Mitchell. We're here to shake like human beings, and we're here to be not be human doings. We're here to be human beings. And so I'm grateful for the human being that is you, and all of you. And I hear my son ready to log on. So I'm going to say, thank you all so much for showing up. Milos, Colleen, Angela, I say Angel, Angela, holy moly, guacamole. Jen, thank you all so much for being here. I won't be here tomorrow. Saturday's my day off. And I will be back here with you Sunday. Have a brilliant night, everyone. And I will be back here on Sunday for our weekly intuitive energy forecast. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you then. Until then, I would encourage you all to just sit back, celebrate yourself, enjoy your life, and remember, we were all born for flight. I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up in my life and pouring into my cup. I am eternally grateful in the here and now for your presence in my life. On that note, that's all, folks. Until Sunday, tell more jokes. You won't choke. Anyways, see ya. Thank you.